what it was. Y'all already know who it is. And y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge of Self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight. And what this also is another dive into the divine mathematics. And I know y'all are used to the whole introductory soliloquy and us vibing to the beat and all that. And I love that shit too. But this is the numbers game. So we just gonna stick to the facts. And what I mean by the numbers game this time is this right here. This a little something about those people that have the number 4 as their life path in numerology. And see, before I even get to that, what I'm going to do first is give y'all a brief explanation on what numerology is. Then after that, we'll talk a little bit about what the life path is about. Then I'm actually going to teach you how to calculate your life path myself. And then it's going to be a culmination, a crescendo, and eventually a climax. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. Nah, don't ever do that. Because you're actually tuned in with one of the cold disclosures in the game. So, without further ado, let's get this thing cracking. And if you were to ask me what numerology is, the most simple answer that I could give you is that's the study of numbers and the energetic influence that they have on our lives. Because ever since ancient times, the sacred mathematics have alerted us to the energetic vibrations of numbers and the amazing ways that they impact us at a cosmic level. And I say cosmic level for a reason. Because each number's unique vibration is going to affect us in a different way. So in essence, numerology could be used to assess the energetic signature of all kinds of stuff. Even your soul. Especially your soul. And if you know anything about me and what we got going on around here, we want to know what that soul do. And either way you look at it, numerology is going to play a pivotal part of the algorithm of your existence. And that's going to boil down to those 5 core numbers, as well as a few other calculations that could show us some of the challenges that we might see, as well as tell us what to expect during certain periods of our life. Plus you have the birthday number, the lucky number, and the signature number, which could all give us certain advantages in certain situations if we utilize them correctly. And those 5 core numbers are going to be the life path number, the life destiny number, the soul number or the soul urge number, the personality number, and the maturity number. And numerology is always going to be about those 9 single-digit numbers that range from 1 to 9, and those 3 master numbers that are going to be 11, 22, and 33. And each one of those is called a master number because not only do they carry their own energetic signature, which is really the double energetic signature of another number, but they also carry the energetic signature of the number that they reduce down to. So the 11 is also a 2, the 22 is also a 4, and the 33 is also a 6. And we'll talk about each one of those individually when we get to them. And just remember that the most important number in your numerological profile is going to be your life path number. Because not only is that an indicator of our strengths and weaknesses, how we act and react, what's important to us and how we process life, but it also tells the tale of our journey to become the person that we're really supposed to be in this life. And each individual life path is going to bring some uniquely positive and negative traits along with it. But it's up to us how we decide to manifest it. And we're going to get plenty of chances to get the most out of our life path. But it's our own choice whether we live the higher or lower vibration of that number. And to be honest with you, most of us are going to live both the high and low vibration of that number at some point during this life. It's just of the utmost importance that we end up at the higher end of that vibrational spectrum before it's all said and done. Because if we don't, we can end up incurring a karmic debt. And that just makes shit all the more hard for us next time around. And by next time around, I am referring to our next lifetime. So as we get into numerology, we are getting into reincarnation, but not in this particular context with the life path number. Because this one speaks specifically and exclusively to the path that we're on in this current life. And that may or may not be influenced by karmic debt from a previous life, but we're not talking about karmic debts. And not everybody has a karmic debt either. I do, but not everybody does. Everybody has karmic lesson numbers, but not everybody has karmic debt numbers. And we'll discuss karmic lessons and karmic debts when we get to them. But first, I'm going to teach you how to calculate your life path. And then we're going to have a brief discussion about the people that have the number 4 as their life path. All right? And we're going to use my son's birthday for our purposes because he's a 4. And thank God. And his birthday is September 28th, 2010. And you're going to have some people that try to calculate the life path by adding across and simplifying. And I'm not going to tell you that's wrong, but I am going to tell you that can end up giving you a master number when you don't really have a master number. So it's best to just do it this way right off the rip. So we're going to start with the month, which is September. That's a 9. There's no other numbers there, so there's no other need to simplify that. So you just drop that 9 on there. Then with the 28th, which is the date, you simplify the number 28 by adding the 2 to the 8, and you get a 10. You simplify the number 10 by adding the 1 to the 0 and getting a 1. Then with the year, you're going to add a cross, then simplify. And that's simple arithmetic. 2 plus 1 is what? 3. So 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 3 equals 13. You simplify the number 13 by adding the 1 to the 3, and you get a 4. So everyone born on September 28th, 2010 has a 4 as their life path. And I'm going to leave that there for like 3 more seconds, and then we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. All right? And so, the first thing to understand about the energy of the 4 in numerology is it represents stability. So just like the 4 elements, the 4 seasons, the 4 points on a compass, the 4 legs on a table, the 4 wheels on a car, people with the 4 as their life path are naturally practical and functional and solid and stable. And a lot of the times they're going to give off that distinct tone of being one of the adults in the room. And to be honest with you, the world needs that, man. Because it's cool to have big dreams and all that, but somebody got to keep it real in the equation, man. And you can always count on a 4 to be that person. And that doesn't mean that 4s don't have dreams. That's actually quite to the contrary. No, they're just not about speculation. And that's because they're about putting the work in, taking the necessary steps, and doing something to make shit happen for real. And that's just because they're down-to-earth people with an iron will who inherently believe that the key to success is hard work and discipline and effective planning. And unlike the 8, it's not really about the fortune or the fame or the power for them. No, it's about being stable and respected. But they also understand that finances can play a part in that. So they're typically going to be pretty adept at keeping that in order too. And they're just naturally drawn to things that solidify their situation because at the end of the day, they crave security above all else, man. And sometimes that stems from some type of childhood trauma that left them feeling vulnerable, but that doesn't have to be the case. And either way it goes, something was triggered that caused building something solid, stable, safe, and secure, both for them and the people they care about, to become the main focus of these people's lives. And that means being practical and pragmatic and moving with purpose. And because of that right there, you're not going to see very many 4s playing the part of the party animal or the socialite. No. They're always working. They're always learning more. They're always sharpening their skills. They're always working to build better. And from the outside looking in, that might seem dull or boring, but to know a foe is to love a foe. Because to know a foe means to know at least one person in your life that you can actually count on. And unfortunately, a lot of people would never know the luxury of that, man. They'll never know the immense sense of comfort that comes from that. But let me also caution you that if you're looking for somebody to kiss your ass or hold your hand or coddle you, then you might as well not even look in the 4's direction, man. Because that ain't what they do. No, they show love by taking care of business. And while that's definitely respectable, it's not always going to be so helpful in the way of creating or maintaining healthy human interactions, because that same pragmatism and practicality that's so instrumental in their ability to build materially is actually an extreme detriment when it comes to them building things with people emotionally or intimately. Because to be honest, they ain't trying to be vulnerable. Nah, as a matter of fact, these folks right here have spent their whole lives building and trying to fortify against their own vulnerabilities. But if you're taking bricks from the foundation in attempts to secure the gate, then eventually everything is just going to fall in on itself, y'all. And then everybody loses. So it's best to just build from within in the first place. All right. And this is just about laying firm emotional foundations and then building outwardly from there. And that's often going to mean looking back and looking into their relationships with their family to see why they are the way that they are and why everything is the way that it is and why they're so motherfucking serious. And then through that, they'll be able to ground themselves. And then their relationships will be more grounded. And then everything just builds beautifully from there. And one of the most awesome traits of people with the 4 is their willingness to work on things. So if there are changes that need to be made, hey, these are those people who are going to work vehemently to do it, if they deem it worth it to do so. And that's a big if, man. And the thing is, they also have to make that decision themselves, because with they stubborn ass, if it ain't worth it, they ain't finna work it. No matter how many times you flippy dippy flat flat. But for real though, man, with all bullshit to the side, these are people with principles right here, man, who are about something in life. And that's why some of the world's most successful people have this 4 life path. People like Oprah, Bill Gates, Leonardo da Vinci, Frank Sinatra, Adam Sandler, Margaret Thatcher, Clint Eastwood. They all have this one. And if you're one of the people that do too, just make sure that you're building with the right stuff for the right reasons, or you might end up not having enough material to work with later on. Or even worse, you might end up losing your permit and not being able to build at all. And then you incur a karmic debt. And then you got to start over with a motherfucking monkey on your back. We ain't doing that, folks. Let's do it the right way off the rip. And no matter what, you don't have to believe a word I just said. Because the truth of the matter is, just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. And what I mean is, we all have all this energy available to us. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And this has been some priceless knowledge of self. If y'all fuck with me on any level, y'all should have already hit the like button. And if not, it's not too late to do so. And you could technically hit the dislike button too. And the world needs hater. Okay, but give me some type of interaction. YouTube is about interaction. And this is not about ego, it's about algorithm. It just helps me expand the platform. So if you ain't trying to hear what I have to say, at least hit that like button or drop a comment so the next person can. Alright? And if you're interested in any astrological or numerological readings whatsoever, do not get at me in my comments. Instead, shoot me an email at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. And the same thing goes if you want some merch. But understand that I'll sell you all the merch you want. And you'll probably look fabulous in it. But this type of swag that I got, this type of energy that I pack with me, it's got to be in you and not on you. So, let me put it in you.